Hello everyone, I'm Wei Wei from China. Today I want to share with you a policy on China's education. Strictly speaking, it is not a law, but it is derived from China's compulsory education law, and other new laws have emerged at the same time as this policy was promulgated. On the 1st of September 2021, China's Ministry of Education introduced the so-called double reduction policy, ordering schools to cut down on the time students spend each night on homework and implementing tough new measures to rein in private tutoring institutions. To talk about double reduction, I have to mention China's most important law, the compulsory education law. In ancient China, it was believed that a woman's lack of talent was a virtue, which made many girls only do housework and couldn't learn any knowledge. And China's economy was very underdeveloped in the past time. Many children in poor areas didn't have the opportunity to study. This law gives all Chinese children the chance to study for free, and it really helped China to improve the literacy of the whole people quickly. In 1998, the Higher Education Law was introduced. Article 19 of this law provides that graduates from senior high schools and people with the same educational level who have passed the entrance examinations shall be enrolled by higher education institutions that offer the necessary education for academic qualifications and shall acquire the status of special course students or undergraduates. Did you find any problems? Compulsory education is up to grade 9, that is junior high school. But in order to get the undergraduate entrance qualification, students must have a senior high school degree and pass the entrance examination, which is called Gaokao in China. So what is Gaokao? Gao means tall. In here, that means high level. Kao means test or exam. It is a standard college entrance exam taken by all high school seniors who wish to matriculate into university. In fact, for the vast majority of Chinese universities, students' scores on the Gaokao is the sole factor considered for admission. This test-based system has driven middle-class families to spend a substantial amount of their income on extracurricular academic tutoring. In an effort not to lose at the starting line, families have increasingly pushed their children into rigorous academic courses before they have even entered elementary school. It would be extremely rare to find students not in such after-school programs, assuming that their families can afford them. Thus, unlike in the United States, attending tutoring was not a way to get ahead, but instead the only way to keep up with one's peers. The goals of the policy were straightforward: to alleviate students' academic burdens, help parents struggling to pay for a seemingly ever-growing array of costly extracurricular tutoring classes, and give kids more free time. Will these top-down measures can really alleviate students' burdens? I'm skeptical. But it does have a big negative impact on institutions. Some tutoring companies tried to pivot, becoming non-profits or transitioning into unrelated industries like investment e-commerce. Many simply shut down. At the same time, a large number of institutional teachers lost their jobs. But private tutors and students aren't the only ones who have had their lives changed by the double reduction policy. The implications of the policy for parents and school teachers should not be overlooked. On the surface, it may appear that double reduction would alleviate the financial stress of middle-class Chinese families while promoting equality, since affording after-school classes would not be a problem if they ceased to exist. However, double reduction doesn't alter the inherently competitive nature of the Chinese college entrance system, nor does it diminish the importance of attending high-ranking universities in the job search process. A large number of students will still be vying for a very limited number of spots at select universities, and attempts at closing test prep centers or limiting homework cannot change that. Actually, some families will not be scrambling to find private tutors who are far more costly. The double reduction policy has taken away the ability of tutoring institutions to provide tutoring for students during breaks, and in the context of educational competition, parents must take on the education of their children themselves. I have to admit that this anxiety is very serious. This is because many parents lack basic educational skills. It was found that due to the lack of adequate after-school homework and after-school tutoring, some very high-achieving students would still perform at a high academic level, upper elementary grades, but lower-achieving students' academic performance became worse due to the lack of parental discipline. Appropriate after-school tutoring may indeed safeguard the academic performance of some of the lower-achieving students, and these students usually lack homeschooling due to their parents' busy schedules. Students who are better educated at home usually also demonstrate better academic and interpersonal skills. The majority of lower achieving students have less academic and interpersonal skills because their parents are busy and don't have time for them. Thus, teachers have a very important place. As the link between the student's home and school, teachers should be highly attentive and alert to the relationship between parents and students. I'm both a mother, a teacher of the institution, and an administrator of the institution. Since the promulgation of the policy, our institution has lost a lot of students because their parents feel that it's okay to lie flat. And some of the parents who remain are very anxious, always forcing our teachers to teach ahead, which is strictly prohibited by the policy. If our institution wants to continue operating, none of the teachers cannot violate the law. The teachers are caught in the middle. In addition to teaching, teachers need to do a lot of communication with these parents nearly every day. So the teachers' mood are also very bad. Teachers took on a lot of pressure. Some young teachers gave up and chose to leave. and I, as the administrator, had to appease parents as well as rearrange teachers to take over. I really received a lot of negative emotions, which made me feel very anxious and confused. I'm afraid that I will be too busy with work to provide my daughter with parental discipline, and I'm afraid that my child will not study well, or she may not have the opportunity to go to the university in the future because of my wrong choice of school. I'm still worried about my job, wondering if there are more policies behind me, and how long will our institution survive. I didn't want to keep myself anxious, and I had to make a change. So I started choosing to learn Teach Now to divert my attention and at the same time to enhance my teaching techniques so that maybe one day I will be less afraid.